So let's talk about that sex scene, or what should have been a sex scene in Norwegian Offspring. So Stain meets this woman who wants to have a baby. Now she's attractive, but he cannot perform. And of course, no man would like to have that kind of character based on himself. But I'm an artist myself, and I don't care what kind of art you make. I didn't direct the movie, and this is what the director wanted. And whatever, but I can also comment on it. And I can comment on how stupid it is. And how, if this is not just supposed to represent dysfunction, but some kind of message that he would want a deeper relationship than just co-parenting, that's fine, but it remains dysfunction. Just imagine if feminists wrote the definition of erectile dysfunction. Then you would have this criteria that you can't perform so and so many times out of the times you try, and it has to be inside a committed relationship. So if you're impotent while just trying to conceive with a woman who just wants to get pregnant and doesn't care about you outside of that, then you don't have erectile dysfunction. Imagine if that were the criteria. Now luckily it hasn't gone so far that feminists write these diagnostic criteria. So that's not how a doctor is going to diagnose you. He is not going to pay attention to the relationship that you have. It's just the function, and if you don't have that, then you're dysfunctional, because that's not healthy masculinity. And also it's bizarre to think that a man wouldn't be interested in casual sex just because he also wants a deeper relationship. And also, of course, it's incredibly feckless to not accomplish what you set out to do and what you promised to do. So this character, no matter how you look at it, is just pathetic. He can't do what he sets out to do with this willing, attractive woman. So that's why I don't enjoy... Well, I enjoyed the movie on some levels, but I don't enjoy this representation of this character, of course. Except as an opportunity to think about the difference between women and men, and just how incredibly sex negative they are. Because if we take this director's vision as a sort of representative female view, then you just see how far removed that is from any kind of healthy masculinity. I mean, this is completely obvious to any man who has any semblance of masculinity, at least. What is masculinity? I mean, promiscuity is what masculinity is. That's the essence of masculinity. That you don't need a committed relationship in order to be attracted. You just need an attractive woman. You just need an attractive woman. Just imagine how different culture would have been if this vision of this director were masculinity. I mean, imagine the Odyssey or something. You have Odysseus coming to these temptations, and oh no, so I can't do it because I'm I can only do it if I perform inside a committed relationship. So I'm not aroused, not aroused by these sirens and all these attractive women that he encountered along the way. If we also consider that the journey is more important than the destination of getting home to this monogamous relationship, then you get the message from our culture that we don't really value that. We value the adventure, the masculinity, the promiscuity, because we are men. Now, I am the real deal. That movie is just a female imitation of trying to portray a male character. We aren't like that. So you're looking at the real deal now. So yeah, to be clear, this character Stain, he is a near asexual. He is not a healthy man. Now there's this term, is it demisexual or something, about these who are supposedly attracted to a deeper relationship or can't feel desire until they're in a deeper relationship. That's a part of the asexual spectrum, right? And it's usually women who identify as this because it sort of sums up their sexuality anyway, which is usually or often so weak. But that is not masculinity, I assure you. That's why we call it asexuality. It's almost asexual, right? So I'm not crazy about the movie for that reason, or any kind of story that has this kind of character as a sort of something you should identify with. It's not how I would have made it. And then it gets, I wouldn't say worse, because fuck could be worse than impotence, but it it gets equally bad almost when he is with this escort, who firstly is very old, but then he's also there, he can't do what he sets out to do, because he gets into this fear of the police, which you know how the story went in real life, where the man it is based on didn't cower in fear of the police. He incited. I won't flesh that more out now because of the consequences, but you can see that my mindset was very, very different from cowering in fear. It was on the very other end of how you can react to authority. You can be afraid of authority, cower in fear, like this character is doing in this movie. Or you can be I won't say now, but yeah. So that's another reason to cringe at the movie, but you can evaluate it on different levels. Art doesn't need to represent your ideal situation or person to be good art. It can still be, it can be, if nothing else, it can be humorous or something. The cinematography can be good. I'm really glad, all things considered, that it got made and got into the Cannes Film Festival. Oh yeah, it gets even worse. It does. Because in the end, he becomes a wanker. he, and now he can perform, except it's not a performance, it's with a sex doll. So it is masturbation. So there, the character really sinks into the lowest you can be. As you know, the real me is a nofapper. Watch my videos about nofap. I'm the one titled Picking Up the Torch After Gary Wilson. It's where you should start to hear me explain nofap. So this character is the antithesis to that, and he is just overall a tragic, not a tragic, I mean a pathetic. Because he doesn't have any redeeming quality. He doesn't have any. So he doesn't have the spirit, the joy of life, the spirit, and the aggression, and the horniness, the lust, the appreciation of beauty. He doesn't even try to, even when he can choose an escort for himself, he doesn't even go for a fertile age woman. He goes for a woman who is so old that she would be infertile, functionally infertile, and visibly so. So that is not a good representation of somebody who would have started fertile dating and who was actually seriously trying to have offspring, and also to fight the sex laws, which you don't do by cowering in fear of the police. So it's just comical. It just turns into a farce, and as such, sure, it's good for a laugh. Norwegian Offspring is definitely good for a laugh, and to start a conversation about these issues.